The Roman salute. An image springs to mind, an outstretched arm, palm down, a symbol of power and authority. It is a gesture often associated with the might of the Roman Empire, conjuring up visions of legionaries and emperors. Yet this seemingly ancient gesture is a surprisingly modern invention, a misconception with a complex and often troubling history. This essay will delve into the origins of the so-called Roman salute, tracing its journey from artistic invention to its controversial adoption and enduring legacy. The Roman salute, as we know it, is largely absent from historical Roman texts and artifacts. There is no evidence to suggest that the Romans used this particular gesture as a formal salute. Instead, their forms of greeting and respect involved a range of gestures, often differing based on social standing and context. The image of the Roman salute is a product of later centuries, born out of artistic license and political agendas. In ancient Rome, gestures were an integral part of communication, conveying various meanings and emotions. One common gesture involved raising the right hand, known as to signify trust, friendship, or loyalty. This gesture was often used in greetings, oaths, and agreements. Another common gesture involved extending the hand with the palm facing outward, known as which emperors and generals used when addressing their troops or the public. These gestures, however, differed significantly from the stiff-armed salute we now associate with Rome. Roman art rarely depicts individuals with their arms fully extended in the manner of the modern Roman salute. Instead, their gestures were typically more fluid and nuanced, reflecting the complexities of their social interactions. The image of the rigid, outstretched arm is a later invention, a product of artistic imagination rather than historical accuracy. The misconception of the Roman salute can be traced back to the late 18th century, particularly to the works of Jacques-Louis David, a prominent French neoclassical painter. His 1784 painting, The Oath of the Horatii, depicts three Roman brothers pledging an oath with their arms outstretched in a gesture that would later become synonymous with ancient Rome. This iconic image, widely reproduced and admired, helped solidify the association between this gesture and Roman antiquity in the public imagination. However, it's important to note that even David's painting is not a historically accurate portrayal of Roman customs. While he drew inspiration from classical sources, he took artistic liberties in his depiction of the oath-taking scene. There is no historical evidence to suggest that the Romans used this specific gesture for such an occasion. David's painting, while visually striking, inadvertently contributed to a historical inaccuracy that would have lasting consequences. Section 4, From Canvas to Reality: The Salute in 18th and 19th Century France. David's paintings, imbued with themes of republicanism and civic virtue, resonated deeply in the revolutionary atmosphere of late 18th century France. The outstretched arm, as depicted in the Oath of the Horatii, became associated with ideals of patriotism, sacrifice, and unity. It began appearing in other artworks, sculptures, and even political gatherings, gradually evolving from an artistic motif into a symbolic gesture. This association between the outstretched arm and revolutionary fervor continued into the 19th century, particularly during the French Revolution of 1848. The gesture, now imbued with new layers of political significance, became a symbol of popular sovereignty and defiance against monarchical rule. It appeared in political cartoons, illustrations, and even on banners and flags, further cementing its connection to republican ideals and national identity. Section 5, Across the Atlantic, the Bellamy Salute. The influence of the outstretched arm gesture extended beyond France, reaching across the Atlantic to the United States. In 1892, Francis Bellamy, a Baptist minister and Christian socialist, introduced a salute to accompany the Pledge of Allegiance. Known as the Bellamy Salute, it involved extending the right arm forward with the palm facing upward, a gesture strikingly similar to the one popularized by David's paintings. The Bellamy salute, intended as a symbol of national unity and patriotism, was widely adopted in American schools and public ceremonies. It became a familiar sight at sporting events, patriotic gatherings, and even in classrooms across the country. However, its resemblance to the salute that would later become associated with Nazi Germany would eventually lead to its demise.